why postdoc? Like, why is it important to do after PhD? Is it really important?
Okay, so it's a very important question actually, because once you finish PhD, I used to think this PhD is a very hard thing to do, because you have to spend a lot of time doing something that you're not really interested in. Because you are interested in research, but you're not interested in doing that every day. Like, it's a clockwork. You have to get up, you have to do. So you don't want to do postdoc. But it's important for certain reasons. There is a very good article, if some of your listeners want to read that. There is an article in Science published in 2019. Not sure the topic and the author, but there is an article. See, the reason why you need to do postdoc is, I did my PhD in a lab where the organic chemistry was being done, electrochemistry was there, cell culture was there, everything you could have combined, like 3 or 4 things. Those 3 or 4 things actually did not come from one lab. My professor, my PhD supervisor did his PhD in one lab. From his first postdoc, he got an experience for organic synthesis and other things. And then next postdoc he got. So he combined all those things.
Okay.
In my case, now I know electrochemistry. I know biology now. But the thing is, I don't know microfluidics, because in my previous lab, like I said, we used to have glass-based systems, which is the screen printing of carbon ink on a glass channel to make a glass surface. So, which is not a very efficient way of preparing microfluidic channels. But in this lab, the current lab that I'm working on, they are doing PDMS devices based on 3D models, and they're constructing in a very short period of time, and it's easy, accurate, and then you can get good results with that one. So there are a lot of positive points. But in order to learn that, I have to work in this lab now. Now, actually, like I said, my another project now I'm doing in microfluidics now in this lab. My basic project is in environmental chemistry, which is almost finished. But I picked up another project like on the side just to do. So I'm working on microfluidics now. But the problem is that it's not my major concern. I mean, I'm doing that just to learn the technique. So next is what I want to do is next I want to work on some neuronal research. Nerve conduction, signal transduction, and now I want to combine like these 3 things, like microfluidics, electrochemistry, and neuronal research combination. Nerve conduction, how it happens, and all those things. So if I want to learn that, I can't do that in this lab, right? So because this professor does not have funding for that research.
Okay.
Yeah. So because, like, for example, he got a funding from the Environmental Ministry of Korea. So he can't publish a paper in that funding saying that we did neuronal research, because the Environmental Ministry is not concerned with neuronal research. It's concerned with environmental pollutants. So we can't do that research at this moment. So I have to find a lab for the next postdoc or something, or maybe I have to apply for a funding of my own. I can actually. There are fundings called KRF, Korean Research Fellowship, and then NRF, National Research Fellowship, something.
Okay.
So if I can write a project and get it approved, then I will have funding for 3 years or 5 years or something.
And
so I can work on my own.
And you can work in the same university which you're working?
Right. I'm in the same lab. My professor doesn't need to give me salary. He just need to give me the space. Then I will be his research professor or something, and he will be professor. So something like this. So that is the reason why you do postdoc. So when you join the postdoctoral researcher, you have 1 year contract always.
Okay.
So in 1 year, what you can do is one project. You can do one project which is new to you and little bit related to you, because professor also needs something from you. It's not only a place for you to learn. You have to do something to give something back to him also. So, and then the second and third postdocs you do to learn different things. So these different things, when you get a position as an assistant professor in some university, you can develop your own lab, and then you can set up the lab, and then you can put different research areas in one, and then start your own research group or something like this. But your question, do we have to do postdoc? Not exactly, no. In India, IITs have this rule that you have to do postdoc, you have to have a postdoc for at least 1 to 3 years.
Okay. If you want to join as an assistant professor in IIT.
Assistant professor in IIT, yes, right. But there are some universities which doesn't require this one, postdoc.
Okay.
You can directly get a position as an assistant professor if you apply. But the problem is the publication is very important. If you have a publication like Nature or Science, then you'll easily get. But the problem is, in your PhD, maybe you don't have that one. So in order to get to that level, you need to work in a very good lab. So if your PhD lab is not very good, then you apply for someone who is higher. Like I said, the university ranking or the professor's ranking higher, and his publication record. The same research area that I'm doing now, some people are doing in India also.
Okay.
But they cannot publish more than 5 impact factor, but I can publish 10 or something.
Okay.
Right. But the same research, if someone in the US is doing, maybe he can publish in JAX or IOChem or something, 15, 20 impact factor. So you have to improve your publication records, and then you can apply to good universities in India or somewhere else, something like this. But if you are trying to get into a company, industry, any industry, if you're trying to join any industry, my suggestion is don't do postdoc. Postdoc is useless in industry.
Okay.
Industry don't consider postdoctoral experience as experience.
Okay.
Some industries do in China and other areas, but in India they don't consider that one as experience. They just consider it as you worked somewhere. Okay, fine. That's it. So it's not like you worked in different fields, or you have like different experiences, so you can do more, I mean, like multiple things at the same time. No, they're not interested. They're going to train you for 3 weeks or 4 weeks, and then they're going to give you your project, and then you're going to do. So it's a simple thing. So they don't want your postdoc or anything. You have a PhD, fine. That's okay. So if anyone is interested in becoming a professor, then go for postdoc. Otherwise, no need to.
Okay.
And postdoc is actually, it's easy to get, and you don't have to sit at home without doing anything. If you're finding it difficult to find a job, then in the meantime, like when you're finding a job, you can do postdoc.
Yeah.
But again, the same problem. In postdoc also, you have to work hard, and then you have to show your professor that you're doing something, publish paper, and then in that time job finding will become difficult. So you have to make your priorities.